All right, so let's talk about a little bit about the years. Here, what we have in our Anthony Hopkins model is just a blocking, an overall volume for the years, and just as I was saying, usually we use like this line for those thirds that we said, placing the years, the this line for the eyebrows and the base of nose. But actually most of the time I think in by looking in the photos, maybe sometimes we can find the years not so high like that, and a little bit lower than this line sometimes, but it's gonna depends on each person, on also on the aging. The aging process makes the ears bigger, and so bigger lobe. So yeah, like perception will always be the best to when it comes to the observation itself. Always tend to be better than just following these rules. These rules are most of time more for using as a starting point, right? But about the structure of the ears, what you can have here, I always like to separate them in some parts. Uh, Let me get another reference. Yeah, that's it. We were missing some of them. Uh, but yeah, what do we have here? I always like to separate them in these parts here. I love this reference because it shows some parts that we can easily understand the structure of the ear structure. So let me show you guys some names here. Here in red and or pink, we're gonna have this structure called helix. So is this one the most outer structure there? The ears are cartilage, so everything it's not hard, it's always soft, and the forms are quite like some you can remember some figures, some symbols to remember those drawings. Like this one, we can make like a 9 number, right? And inside this 9 number, we're gonna have this Y. This Y, it's called anti-helix. This is gonna be the helix, and inside we're gonna have an Y letter, kind of curved to the back, and let me do it in another color. Y curved to the back, and we can call it anti-helix. And then we're gonna have this kind of bow shape, you know, like this. And this bow shape is formed by two structures. The first one is this structure here that we can call tragus. This one, tragus. And then in the other side we're gonna have like tragus here, and the other side we're gonna have the antitragus. So this one is the tragus, and here we're gonna have the antitragus. Okay, and finally we're gonna have the lower structure that we called lobule. Lobel. Here we have the ear notch. I call it the hole. I don't know how. Yeah, maybe red ear notch or hole, but those are the simple structures that you can remember when it comes to draw and to sculpt the ears, to remember those shapes. So let me draw once again here, and here you're gonna have the 9 shape, and then we're gonna have the Y curved back, and in this part the bow shape, right? So 9, Y curved, and bow. And remember, this 9 shape, it starts from the inside part of the ears, and notice that here, when you want to, like scratch the inside of your ear, this must have on a space, enough space to, like put the finger to make a scratch or something. I always remember this because once upon a time I was in a sculpture class, and then I did my first year sculpture, and it was to close this space. And then a friend of me, friend of my, friend of me, I don't know. He said me about, he was questioning me, and he asked how this guy is gonna scratch his ears with not enough space. So like this, maybe this would be not enough space, so you have to take care to have nice space between the tragos and this region here for the anti-helix. And notice how the anti-helix has his volume. We're gonna have the helix. This is in the front view, right? In front view, notice that we are able to see the tragos and then the antitragos. It makes that bow shape, even in front or even in side view, right? So it means like the tragos, it's facing more to the side. It's going outward the cranium, the head itself. And then we're gonna have the helix also going to the outside. And what do we have here? Then we have the anti-helix. So the anti-helix will almost most of the time will make this nice gesture line, so we have the helix, and then it stops because here we're gonna have the anti-helix going on, and the helix will go behind this information and continues until the lobule. This in a front view, right? In side view, we don't have too much problem. It's just this what we see and when we look at the figure. So we have the 9, the Y curved, and the bow shape, and the lobule at the bottom, right? So you can even in this side view, you can imagine the ears like question, just like this. This is supposed to be the lobule, and then the helix, and inside you're gonna have Y shape curved, and then lobule forming like that bow shape, right? And once you complete everything, you almost gonna have an ear shape. Okay. And also some other thing that I like to do when it comes to sculpting ears is to divide it in 3/3 as well. So we're gonna have the top and bottom up, right? Top and bottom, and then kind of like this. It will depends on each person, but you always can separate you know, the reference that you are looking on. Notice that even into this reference we have some difference, but it will be easier for you to understand the reference that we are looking when you start to subdivide in thirds, and then you better able to check not only the inside features but also the outside, the silhouette information, the inclined angle for the ear's position. Notice that it's not squared when looking to the face, and it's always behind the jaw, the end of the jawline, right? Looks like the jaw is finishing here, and the ears will always start after this. And then I like to have maybe this big round shape into the first third, and then into the second third we're gonna have all this information here, and maybe in the last third we're gonna have the lobule and those shapes there. And another thing regarding to the ears gesturing is when you look from the back view, something that is quite nice is to have those curvature. Notice that we have here the beginning for the helix shape, and then it makes this nice curvature, right? This nice curvature will be in equilibrium with, it goes out, inside, out again, and the anti-helix will kind of cross this, always making like a diagonal, maybe crossing the shapes in the front view. If we have it here for the front view, and then we're gonna have the anti-helix like crossing, almost like that, right? That Y shape, and then that bow shape there. And also remember that the 9 shape starts where? From the inside. Let me clean it and I can show you again. It starts from the inside part, and then it goes inside, and then it goes to the side of head, and then it starts to go out, and it makes all that 9 shape, and then it merges again to the side of head. It makes the lobule, right? And also another thing that is quite important to notice on the ears is the thickness for everything. Once you are modeling the ears, you don't want a very thick ear. Note how thin is this structure, right? So everything is very thin. You can even grab in your own ear and feel that it is very, very thin. So this is very important. This is like always thin, and because of that, when you make a model for rendering, you're gonna have that SS subsurface scattering effect on the ears, because This will be most of the time more translucent, and it will light up in a red color. um, so yeah, I think for the ears is this. For the back of ear, you have to imagine this structure, you know, kind of like uh, um, a structure like that, you know, and this will make all the sense for this inner part. And all of this is okay, another thing that is quite important is to remember that we're gonna have all this region here with a same volume, not the same volume, but it starts to increase the volume as it goes the inside. And here, why are we gonna have this Y shape? Because right in this region we're gonna have a depression. Okay, because of this, it forms this nice Y shape. And note how it's close to the helix. It makes just a little depression over here, that in this part will be the closest one, and then this depression continues, and maybe sometimes you're gonna have some information here. Note how here we still have that depression, and then it goes to the lobule volume. For the lobule, we're gonna have like this. And then in all, let me do in other color, in all this bow shape there, we're gonna have some volume. Also for the tragus, and all this volume will continue and will be this volume for the Y shape that we call it. Okay, let's continue here. We have this nice depression here, the closest part, closest region, and then it starts to go far, right? And into this region we also gonna have a nice depression. I hope that you guys understand when I do those lines just like that. Here it's kind of messing because we're gonna have the hole, right, the ear notch. And let me do in blue again, no, in green. Here we're gonna have all that volume that starts from the inside part when you use your finger to scratch the ear notch, and right, this will be the general volume for the ears. Another thing that is very, very important that I think is most of the time the students and people are usually to get it wrong is this region right here. Imagine that in this region, when you are using eyeglasses, you're gonna put the eyeglasses here, right? So always take care to have enough space between, let me clear, enough space between the last part where the ears are attached to the head and the top of ears, right? So once you use the eyeglasses, it's gonna be here. So the overall mistake is to people make like here already the ears starts to blend with the side of head and doesn't let enough space, like making this pinching between the side of head and the beginning of ears. All right, so you must take care to have it, and this should be a very pinched encounter, not like so, but like so. Okay. So let's have a look in Anthony Hopkins ear shape and let's model it.